Jungkook breaks down in tears. What did Jimin say at the airport that shook ARMY to its core? July 2025. Seoul. In a moment that no one saw coming, BTS's Jungkook was captured on video visibly breaking down after a brief, yet emotionally intense exchange with fellow member Jimin at an airport terminal. The footage, now viral across all major platforms, shows Jungkook bowing his head in silence, his expression blank, his posture rigid, and his hands tightly clenched. Seconds earlier, Jimin had leaned in, whispered a single sentence, and walked away without looking back. Why did this happen? What was said? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future of BTS and their members? This is not a simple misunderstanding or a candid emotional moment between close colleagues. This was something else, something raw, immediate, and deeply personal. The video, believed to have been recorded during the early hours of July 10th at Incheon International Airport, has sparked an unprecedented wave of speculation across the ARMY fandom, with millions of fans dissecting each frame, analyzing body language, and amplifying concerns about the emotional state of BTS's Golden Magne. The footage shows Jimin approaching Jungkook in a restricted lounge area. His expression is tight, restrained, his lips barely moving as he utters what appears to be a single sentence. Jungkook, previously seen speaking to staff members, immediately freezes. There is no response, no eye contact, only silence. And then his head drops. A heavy silence fills the room before Jimin walks away with a sharp, decisive step. Not a glance back, not a word more. What could Jimin possibly have said to elicit such a visceral response? Why did Jungkook look genuinely devastated? Within minutes, online communities began buzzing. Comments flooded Weverse, Twitter, TikTok, and fan forums. Some fans speculated about internal group conflict, others suggested personal struggles, and a more critical group pointed fingers at an unexpected presence seen just seconds after Jimin's departure. A woman, later identified as Choi Hyren, standing not far from the scene. Her expression, unreadable. Her timing, suspicious. Choi Hyren, a senior visual producer under hybe labels, has never been a public figure. Her name has rarely appeared in fan discussions, yet her professional portfolio is closely tied to both Jimin and Jungkook. She has worked behind the scenes on several of their solo projects, including Jungkook's Standing Next to You and multiple visual campaigns for Jimin over the past 2 years. Her presence at such a critical moment was anything but incidental. Is this a personal entanglement masked as a professional overlap? Or is this a carefully timed appearance that suggests deeper involvement than previously known? Internet sleuths wasted no time. Within hours, frame-by-frame analysis of the video emerged. Some lip-reading enthusiasts claimed Jimin's words might have been, "You knew this would happen," while others proposed even more chilling alternatives, such as, "This is why we can't continue." None of these claims have been verified, yet the emotional aftermath captured on Jungkook's face lends weight to the belief that something irreversible may have been said. Adding fuel to the fire, Jimin's schedule was suddenly altered just hours after the incident. A scheduled interview with Japanese media was abruptly cancelled, with no formal explanation. Jimin's solo promotional activities were moved online, eliminating any opportunities for direct media questioning. Meanwhile, Jungkook continued with his routine, but he avoided all public Q&A sessions. This deviation from norm, especially for two of the most media-engaging idols under hybe, sent fans into a frenzy. Why did both artists withdraw simultaneously after the video was leaked? The speculation only intensified when it was revealed that Hyren and Jungkook had worked closely throughout 2023, including on late-night shoots and intensive editing sessions for his solo project. While their interactions were professional on the surface, fans are now questioning whether the visible tension between Jimin and Jungkook stems from a personal development involving Hyren. It's not uncommon for fans to overanalyze celebrity behavior, but this situation has eclipsed mere curiosity. The video's raw emotional content, combined with a growing list of coincidences, has created what K-pop industry analysts now refer to as a Level 3 exposure incident, where leaked media footage spirals beyond the agency's control, prompting viral unrest and reputational volatility. HYB's silence, instead of containing the issue, has become a vacuum that feeds public doubt. The magnitude of this silence became apparent when Pchmoisek, one of the largest Jimin-focused fanbases in Korea, deactivated their account. Their final post? "We no longer have control. Let them breathe." Fans interpreted this as an acknowledgement of the emotional turmoil affecting both idols behind closed doors. Internationally, fan bases are split. Brazilian armies began trending #EndOfTwoSuk, suggesting an irreversible fracture between Jimin and Jungkook, the two often dubbed as soulmates by fans due to their visible closeness over the years. Meanwhile, Japanese fan bases took a more cautious stance, calling for transparency. What did Jimin say? Why was Higher in there? The lack of answers has left the fan community in a state of confusion and emotional volatility. One undeniable reality is that the dynamic between Jimin and Jungkook has changed. Whether temporary or permanent, the once comfortable distance between them now seems burdened with silence. BTS, a group known for their unity and vulnerability, suddenly appears fractured in the public eye. The very foundation of their bond is being questioned. In times like these, even the smallest cues are magnified. Fans pointed out that in the days following the incident, Jungkook appeared unusually subdued during his live streams. His tone was flat, his answers brief. He avoided reading certain comments. He turned off the chat early. There was no music, no laughter, only the sound of his voice barely holding form. Meanwhile, Jimin remained entirely off the radar, his only appearance being a muted pre-recorded promotional video uploaded to HYB's channel, one devoid of his usual energy, replaced by an unsettling quietness in his demeanor. Who is protecting whom? And at what cost? This level of emotional exposure for idols of BTS's stature is rare. Even rarer is the presence of an unknown third party standing at the intersection of professional obligation and possible personal conflict. Is Choi Hyun just a name caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or is she, in fact, a symbol of something far more consequential? Her prolonged silence adds yet another layer of mystery. Despite being directly tied to both idols' projects, she has never made any public comment, nor has she appeared in any formal capacity since the video went viral. The ARMY's desperation for answers is not merely about gossip. It's about concern. The emotional health of both Jungkook and Jimin is now under collective observation. Fans are asking hard questions, not because they wish to invade privacy, but because the idols themselves have always invited their fans into their world with unprecedented openness. That trust is now fraying. It is also unclear why HYB allowed such an emotionally vulnerable situation to unfold in a semi-public space. Shouldn't high-level artist interactions, especially during peak promotional periods, be protected from external recording and misinterpretation? The location of the video appears to be a restricted lounge, yet clearly not restricted enough to prevent this explosive leak. The larger concern remains. Was this a private moment unintentionally exposed, or a manifestation of internal tensions within HYB and BTS that are finally reaching the surface? As fans continue to parse through content, dissect facial microexpressions, and postulate theories, the core issue becomes evident. Something serious was said. Something that changed Jungkook's emotional state in seconds. Something that prompted Jimin to walk away in silence. And something that has since driven a wedge between two of K-pop's most beloved figures. Until clarity emerges, the damage continues to evolve in real time. More fan pages are issuing ambiguous statements. More edits of the video are surfacing with different interpretations. More media outlets are jumping in, not to clarify, but to capitalize. Is this the price of fame? Or is this the consequence of silence? What Jimin said may never be confirmed, and what Jungkook felt in that moment may remain his alone. But what's clear is this: the incident at the airport was not meaningless. It was a turning point. Whether it marks the beginning of a deeper conflict or simply the unmasking of long-held emotions, only time will tell, and the world is watching. As of today, there are no new updates from HYB. But for millions of fans holding on to a decade-long connection with BTS, this silence echoes louder than any confirmation could. Was it real? Or were we played? ARMY faces a crossroads of emotion, evidence, and uncertainty in the wake of the emotionally volatile footage involving BTS members Jimin and Jungkook. The global ARMY community now stands at a critical juncture, not merely as passive spectators of a viral incident, but as active participants in a complex web of narrative, speculation, and public perception. The question no longer hinges solely on what happened, but whether the very existence of this incident reflects objective truth, or a constructed narrative designed to manipulate collective attention. Is the emotional rupture we witnessed a genuine, unscripted moment between two globally recognized artists? Or could it be, perhaps, an orchestrated spectacle calculated to provoke media frenzy, fan division, and viral proliferation? This inquiry demands far more than emotional response. It demands intellectual scrutiny. What are we actually seeing in the video? A few seconds of eye contact, or the lack thereof. A single sentence uttered without context, a visibly shaken Jungkook, and a retreating Jimin, followed by the silent presence of a woman whose mere proximity has been magnified into global suspicion. But can such a brief visual account, stripped of verified audio, stripped of direct confirmation, and divorced from any formal acknowledgement, truly bear the interpretive weight it is being asked to carry? Or are we, perhaps unwillingly, complicit in a cycle of sensationalism that feeds off ambiguity? It is essential to recognize that the dissemination of this event has been shaped largely by unverified fragments collected from social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, and regional fan communities. While these sources often play a vital role in surfacing real-time developments, they also remain vulnerable to distortion, misinterpretation, and strategic amplification. Who originally leaked the video? What motives might lie behind its sudden circulation at the peak of solo promotional schedules? Why were ARMYs, the most observant and informed fanbase in the entertainment industry, left to interpret such a delicate moment without any guiding context? Are we being offered truth, or are we being baited? It is necessary to ask, who benefits from the viral spread of this footage? Is it the media platforms gaining engagement? Is it the entertainment apparatus capitalizing on heightened public interest? Or, disturbingly, is it an intentional narrative mechanism embedded within the structure of contemporary idol marketing, one that harnesses emotional ambiguity to generate relevance, debate, and loyalty? To reflect on these questions is not to deny the authenticity of Jungkook's emotional response, nor to dismiss the potential gravity of Jimin's message. On the contrary, their emotional reality may indeed be genuine. But even if it is, does that mean we, the audience, are entitled to consume it, dissect it, and draw absolute conclusions from it? Or should we instead confront the uncomfortable possibility that we are interpreting shadows on a wall, assigning meaning where none may exist, and constructing certainty out of fragments that were never meant to be understood in isolation? As of this writing, no credible, independent verification of the dialogue exchanged between Jimin and Jungkook has been provided. No audio has been authenticated. No timeline of events has been transparently confirmed by any party involved. The only certainty is that a video exists and that millions have seen it. Everything else is conjecture. And yet, despite this absence of empirical truth, armies across the globe are already drawing battle lines between those who believe in betrayal and those who believe in misunderstanding, between those who accuse and those who defend. What does it say about the power of a few seconds of muted footage that it can fracture the very community it claims to represent? Are we so eager to uncover conflict that we impose it where none may exist? To believe the incident is real and emotionally significant requires one to also believe that HYB, a company known for tight control over its artist image and promotional scheduling, failed to contain a high-tension, personal moment in a semi-public setting. That is possible, but is it plausible? Alternatively, to believe this was staged for attention, to reignite discourse and media momentum around solo activities that may have plateaued in visibility, introduces another uncomfortable possibility, that emotional currency has now become a marketing tool, and that our empathy has been commodified, which is worse. At this point, every individual reader must confront their own interpretive framework. What do you believe happened? And more importantly, why do you believe it? Are you interpreting from a place of emotional loyalty or critical distance? Are your conclusions drawn from evidence or from curated online speculation? Are you aware of how easily digital media can be edited, manipulated, or recontextualized? These are not rhetorical questions. They are necessary interrogations for any fanbase navigating the modern age of hypervisibility, data saturation, and narrative manipulation. The tools of disinformation today are not limited to false claims. They include selective truth, emotional framing, and viral repetition. In such an environment, the responsibility to reflect critically does not lie with the agency, the idols, or the media. It lies with you. Will you question what you consume, or accept it unquestioningly? Will you hold space for ambiguity, or demand absolute answers where none can yet exist? Will you allow your emotional investment to override your capacity for discernment? It is precisely in moments like this, where visibility increases and clarity decreases, that the line between reality and spectacle becomes indistinguishable. And if we, the audience, fail to recognize that line, we become participants in a system that thrives on our confusion. Let us be absolutely clear. The emotional impact of the video is real. The public's reaction is real. The discourse is real. But that does not make the narrative true. Nor does it guarantee that what we have witnessed is the entire story. Therefore, we urge readers to pause, reflect, investigate, verify, ask yourself, what are the sources? Are they credible? Have the statements been confirmed? Are the interpretations consistent across independent analyses? Do not assume. Do not project. Do not conflate intensity with accuracy. The media ecosystem in which BTS exists is no longer one of passive consumption. It is a battlefield of attention. And in this battlefield, every fan, every viewer, every reader is a soldier, whether they realize it or not. By end conclusion, we leave you with the only responsible truth available at this time. We do not yet know what Jimin said. We do not yet know why Jungkook reacted the way he did. We do not yet understand the role of Choi Hyun, or whether her presence is consequential at all. We do not know what this moment truly means for the future of BTS, or whether it means anything beyond the speculation we have layered upon it. What we do know is this: our reaction matters. Our discernment matters. Our willingness to question, not just what we are shown, but why we are being shown it, matters. So ask yourself before you share another post, before you form another opinion. Is this truth or is it theater? And if it is theater, who is directing the scene? And who is watching without ever knowing they are part of the act?